What's going on, everyone? We are back for episode number 5, and I'm with my man Stevie Sussex. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so with like every episode, we're looking into people who have careers that sit outside the box. And when I met this gentleman, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta have him on the show. So, funny thing is, we were both on our honeymoon, and we met in Costa Rica, and it was dope trip, man. It was such a dope trip. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like for me, the best part of the trip was the eco lodge. It was
By
like
far.
no electricity, horrible self service. So it's like, you just get to talk to people for like the first time in a long time where it's like you're forced to talk, but I loved it. How's the family?
Everyone's good. We're all good. We've all been busy, been traveling a lot.
Yeah,
Staying
man. And
busy.
we're gonna get into why you travel. So I know that I was saying it wrong, so I'm gonna let you say it. What type of race car driver are you?
I drive sprint cars.
Sprint cars,
Wing and non-wing sprint cars. Yep.
wing and non-wing sprint cars. Yeah, I'm not even gonna tell you what I was calling. It was
Probably like a doom buggy thing. That's what I get a lot.
yeah, I'm not even gonna say it. But before we get into what you do, I really want to know about who you are. So, like, just give us, where you're from, how you grew up, and then how that turned into you becoming a race car driver.
All right, yeah. Well, obviously my name's Stevie Sussex. I was born and raised in Tempe, Arizona. So I lived where I grew up. I was right down the street from Arizona State University. So big big Sun Devil fan. Yeah, my family, like from my grandpa and even my great grandpa was highly influenced in racing. And then they didn't really race as much, but they were always around it. My dad, he rode dirt bikes and stuff when he was younger, and he would race on like the Baja 500 and 1,000 and stuff like that. I don't know if you're familiar with all
No.
that off-road dirt racing. It's basically they ride 1,000 miles on their dirt bike. So it's
Wow.
pretty, yeah, one straight shot. It's pretty intense. But he started getting into like sprint car racing when he was like 27, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and then I started racing. Well, once he had me, which I think I was a mistake, but uh, once he had me, he kind of quit when I turned like 5 and just started focusing on me because he noticed that I like really loved being around race cars and just always had to be at the racetrack.
Yeah.
So I started racing when I was 5. I was doing like they're called quarter midgets, which are kind of like go-karts, I guess, for someone that's not familiar with that.
Okay,
Um,
so I'm gonna stop you real quick because that's what I was calling the cars. Because I could have sworn you had said when something about maybe it was when you were telling me about what you started with the quarter midget.
uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, this guy, man, he races midget cars, and people were like,
Okay,
what?
so no. So there, I do race midget cars as well.
Okay, okay,
So quarter midget is basically like just a smaller version. It's like the startup version for like midgets and sprint cars.
okay,
Um, yeah, so I started racing quarter midgets when I was 5, and I ran up until I was about like 12 years old, and then I started doing some pavement racing because I guess quarter midgets are pavement, and then I jumped into a car called a Bandolero
hmm,
and a Legend, and then when I turned 13, I jumped into a full size midget, and not a lot of states allow you to drive when you're that young.
yeah,
Like most places you have to be 16 to drive a full size midget. And luckily in Arizona, I was able to start when I was 13. So I started my career a little earlier, which I think has been a lot of help for me. And then I jumped into a sprint car when I was 16. And then so I've just been running both midget and sprint cars pretty much ever since. Yeah, and then when I was like 25 when I
yeah,
decided I wanted to kind of do it full time and take that leap. And so I moved to Indiana.
hmm,
I lived there for like a year, and then I came back home, and then I was just traveling a lot because as much as I loved like racing a lot in Indiana, like Arizona was kind of my home, and so now I'm I just travel a whole lot. I'm always on flight. You catch me at the airport,
Yeah.
um,
Like every
and
weekend, right?
pretty much. Yeah, so I'm always on the road. Luckily, I have some racing out in California
Mhm.
and in Arizona now too, so that kind of helps a little bit when I'm not trying to be out of town my whole life. So it's nice to be able to race down home as well.
Yeah. And you do so you're like full-time racing. It's not like a side gig or anything, right?
Well, it was full time for probably like 4 years. That's what I was doing full time.
Mhm.
And then actually last year I started my own little construction company.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, so I kind of was getting that off the ground. So I didn't race as much like the past couple of years because I've been starting up. But
Mhm.
now I kind of got my company afloat. So now it's nicer that I'm making money during the week and then I can go make some extra money on the weekend and have obviously more fun because it's what I love to do more than anything. And just to get paid for it is just a cherry on top.
That's what's up. So when you were in Indianapolis, or do you say Indianapolis or just Indiana?
Uh, I lived in Indianapolis for a little bit.
Mhm.
I lived in Bloomington up by IU.
Okay.
Uh,
So
yeah.
that was like your introduction to the pro circuit, right?
Yeah, you could say. Yeah, you could say. I mean, that's where all like for what I do, sprint cars, like that's where the best of the best go. So that's where I guess you'd call it the pro circuit. Like they race for more money, and all the best race car drivers are from or not from, but they reside in Indiana now.
Okay.
So
So what's that process like when you're trying to go from, I guess amateur is it or semi-pro amateur? I don't want to, offend or
no,
anything.
it's all pro because I mean we still get paid for it down here.
Yeah.
It's just the level of competition.
Okay.
It's kind of like playing in the CFL down here, and
Yeah.
then you're going up to the NFL when you go start racing with them. So you're racing against. I mean, yeah, you're racing with I think the best drivers in the country, and I'm even saying that against NASCAR and stuff like that. Like if you even look at like NASCAR drivers, like I don't know if you're familiar with Kyle Larson at all.
No.
Uh,
I'm gonna
he's
start.
leading.
I'm gonna look up
Yeah,
these guys though.
he's leading like the NASCAR points, and
Uh-huh.
he still comes down and races with us all the time. Um, so
So it speaking of that, so you have the sprint car, you have the midget, you have NASCAR, you have what's the other one? Ah, I can describe the way the cars look. But they're the ones with the pointed nose, wheels are kind of like on the outside.
oh, a dragster,
Not the
not,
dragster, but
not a
like
top fuel dragster. No,
no, because these are they're on the track too in
they're
terms of going around. I can't think of the name, but anyway, in terms of you got all of those. What made you gravitate towards the sprint cars and the midget versus like trying to go to NASCAR and such?
well, I mean, NASCAR is everyone's kind of goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's you make a lot more money than I'm making doing non-wing stuff.
Hmm.
Um, it's just hard to get there, to be honest. You got to be really talented, and you got to have like the right backing.
Hmm.
Like you got to have sponsorship if you're gonna make it to NASCAR, and that's just the way it is anymore. It's kind of sucks, but I mean, I love racing sprint cars. I think it's the coolest form of racing. It's the most
Yeah.
dangerous. Um, you can't get those kind of thrills anywhere. I mean, the zip lines were fun and all
Yeah.
in Costa Rica, but but it's
Yeah, man.
a whole different thrill.
Yeah, the whole I think we had talked about this when we were in Costa Rica. I was like the end goal, the dream is to then like take this from it being this platform into it being a television show where myself and maybe like I have a co-host or something where we're going around to all these different
Yeah,
jobs, careers and kind of like getting a taste of what they are.
yeah, for sure.
Um okay, so you talked about it a little bit. What would you say, like, what do you love the most, or what makes you fall in love with driving?
But driving, it's just a sense of,
with
I mean,
racing?
you just get away from everything. Like when you have your suit on, your helmet on, it's like
Mhm.
you can't hear anything. You hear just the engine. So it's just you. And like I love competition. I'm a very
Yeah,
competitive person. So it's just like me versus the competition, and you're just in your own world. You go to a different place. Like half the time, I don't even know if I'm breathing. To be honest, like I don't
yeah,
remember to breathe. It's just and then you get to a level of focus that you really can't even get to, and like I can't ever find that like engagement and focus when I'm outside of my race car. It's just a whole different feeling, and I don't know.
yeah,
It's very hard to describe for some like it. I don't know. It's just a weird feeling. It's just like I don't know. It's just the biggest thrill, obviously, but
yeah,
then knowing that you can literally die in any second if you crash really bad or put
yeah.
yourself in a bad spot. So you got to have that focus, but at the
Mhm.
same time, you have to push the car if you want to win and make some
Right.
money. And I mean, so like this past weekend, I actually flipped,
Oh, wow.
and yeah. So
You
I mean,
good?
oh yeah, I'm good. I went to the chiropractor, I got some cupping done.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of banged up my shoulder a little bit, but I'm still here, so that's good.
Awesome. Okay, so what would you tell a young person who is interested, but they don't know anything about it? Not even just a young person. This is geared towards like high school and college age, but even someone who, they're in their careers, but they have a draw towards racing. What type of advice or guidance would you give them, to how to get started into the industry?
Yeah, I mean, just go to the track, kind of introduce yourself to some people, see how everything kind of works. Um, Kind of just try to be around there. All the racing community is really cool. Like you can go up to anybody and be like, "Hey, I'm so and so. I'd love to help you out one night or whatever." And 90% of the 95% of the people would say, "Yeah, come anytime, come help." Go help, go learn about the car, go learn about how the racing works, and then if you decide that you like it, I'm sure someone from the track will kind of lead you in the right steps. They're just awesome people. That's probably the thing I love the most about racing, to be honest, is the people that are
Mhm.
involved in it. Like, um, uh, my best friends are all pretty much from the racetrack. I got hundreds and hundreds of friends, and I consider I have a lot of really close friends, and they're just all from the racetrack.
Yeah.
So it's just
So
a really tight circle, but
I
it's a
was
big
say really
circle. But
nice community.
yeah, I mean, you see someone driving down the road with a flat tire in their truck and trailer. You'll see three trailers pulled over to the side trying to help somebody. It's just everyone's just out for like just to help each other out. So it's really cool.
That's what's up. So go in, you're asking to be of service first so that they know, you're committed more than just gimme. It's
Yeah.
a mutual give and take. Um what about, I guess, what was I gonna ask? Schooling. Is there like learning how to drive? Is it more you're gonna go to some type of school to learn how to drive, or is it gonna be on the job training type of a job? What?
So there is some schooling you can do.
Mhm.
I never did it because I mean I started driving like I said when I was 5,
Yeah.
so I always had a good feel for a race car.
Mhm.
So I never did it, but I highly suggest like anyone that even wants to just try it out. There is some schooling you can do. Actually, in Ventura, California, they
Okay.
have there's a racetrack there, and one of my good buddies, name's Corey Cruzman. He actually has a driving school there, and
Okay.
you can show up.
I'll make sure to put his school in the description.
Okay, yeah,
If
he'll
anyone's
appreciate that
interested,
too.
they'll just go to that.
Yeah, and yeah, he has tons of people go there all the time, and he teaches you he teaches you a lot about he, mainly like respect how to you got to respect the race car because you
Yeah.
like I said you can kill yourself, and there is a lot of fatalities that happen in sprint car racing, and they're not the safest thing. The way I best describe it is kind of like riding a shark. um, like that's kind of how they are. It's just you got 900 horsepower and you're in a car that weighs 1,200 pounds. So
Yeah.
um,
Wow.
yeah, keeping yeah, so they're like I said, they're dangerous, but I think it's the coolest form of racing. And if anyone like wants to even just go to YouTube and type in sprint cars, and I'm pretty sure you'll be hooked instantly.
Yeah, I watched a couple races. I guess kind of get my mind prepared to talk to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. And you do dirt as well as you do pavement, right?
So I only race dirt right now.
You only race dirt. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't ran pavement. It's been a while since I've ran pavement, actually.
Okay.
Uh, I don't find pavement as fun.
Mhm.
I mean, it is fun just because it's a different form of racing. But my love is for dirt racing. It's every track you go to, it changes all the time because the dirt's constantly changing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's always different. Every time you can go to the same track 2 nights in a row, and the track will be completely different. One night you'll have to run on the top side. The other night you'll run in the middle or the bottom, or one side here, one side there. So it changes all the time, and that's why you see so many different winners in uh, sprint car racing. Like it's not the same person winning all the time, which is kind of cool.
And so I'm assuming that dirt is more challenging than pavement.
Uh, I don't know about that. I think it is, but a lot of other people don't think so. But I think they're wrong.
I was like, he looks like he's going for the politically correct answer.
Yeah, yeah. There's yeah. Pavement racers and dirt racers are always going at it, but at the end of the day, we all have love for each other. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Do you have what lasting words? Like you have how many kids?
two,
And they're both boys, right?
both boys.
Both boys. Okay. Like if it was yours, you're speaking to your boys, but you're kind of speaking to everybody.
Hmm.
What lasting words would you give them about following their dreams? Doing what they love.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about just doing what you love. Like I I I got into a I settled for a little bit of time, and I knew I wasn't happy. Um, like I was still racing a little bit, but I was working a lot, and I didn't like what I was doing working. And like I was scared, obviously, to move out of state because I didn't have anyone to go with at the time. Like it was just me.
Hmm.
Um, and I finally just made that leap of faith. And when I moved out there, I'm like, why didn't I do this 5, 6, 7 years ago? And yeah, so I mean, like I said, I wish I would have done it earlier, but it's never too late, obviously, to do what you love. Um, Obviously, you're starting your thing. I know you've probably done some things where you just did what you had to do to kind of survive, and
Oh
like
yeah.
there was a lot of times where like when I was just on my own, where like it's even in racing, like when I was out there living in Indiana, if I'd have a bad weekend, I was eating ramen for a week. Like
Yeah.
it was ramen for the whole week, and hopefully I could pay my rent.
Right.
And then you win, and you're like, all right, well, let's go to Ruth Chris for the week. Like, but now I'm a little bit more mature than that, so
Yeah.
now I'm like, we should just go eat Applebee's every once in a while.
Right, right.
No,
That's what's
but
up.
yeah, no, it's all about chasing your dream, and
Mhm.
and at least give yourself a chance and say you tried. And if you fail, then at least you can say you tried. Um,
Right.
I wouldn't say I completely succeeded, but I don't think I failed by no means. I kind of made a name for myself in racing, and I still get people calling me wanting me to go drive their car. So, like to me, I'm living like literally my dream life right now. So I'm
Yeah.
just having a blast, and it's nice that I get to bring my family along, and we do a lot of other things like during the off season now. We get to travel a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got to meet you in Costa Rica because we just got married and stuff. But we got a lot of other trips planned as well. So it's kind of nice that we have a little bit more freedom as well. So
Yeah. Where to next?
I think we're gonna go to Turks and Caicos.
Okay. Yeah, with the baby on the way, I was like, "Oh man, I don't know when we're gonna get out again." But I think my wife and I are definitely on that. We have that mindset that our kids are gonna be traveling. So
Yeah, no, and
as soon as he's old enough, we're
yeah,
out of here.
exactly. Yeah, no, the boys love it. The boys love being on the road.
Yeah.
They they but we don't spoil them though. We make them work for everything too. So
Oh yeah,
because
most
neither one of us were spoiled at all.
yeah,
We both kind of had to work for everything we got. Like if I got bad grades or if I got in any trouble, I wasn't allowed to race. And like I said, I loved racing more than anything. So I always made sure that's what kept me on the right path.
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, man. I definitely appreciate you coming on to the show.
Yep.
Um, and like I said, in the description is going to be the website for your friend's driving school. It's a driving school, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a driving school.
Okay, yeah, or race. I don't know, driving, racing. Uh, I don't want to say it wrong, but whatever the school is, I'm gonna have the website in the description.
Okay.
And if you have any other websites or anything that you want me to add, maybe your Facebook, your Instagram, or something like that, just so that we can get some more eyes on you, I'm
All
definitely
right.
gonna put that in the description as well.
I
So I definitely
appreciate that.
appreciate you. And like I always say for every episode, there are hundreds of dreams that die in the cemetery. Don't let yours be that one. Okay?
Yeah.
So
That's well
live
put.
outside
Well
the
put.
box. Live
I
box
like that.
family. Thank you.
I
Y'all
like
be good.
that.